Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to dive into some fertilizers. I wanted to do a brief overview of the fertilizers that I use and why I use them. So let's talk about it. No singing in this video. I promise I won't sing to you guys. Hey, I like having fun. I like learning and I like having fun. So quick disclaimer, in this video, we're going to be talking about organic and synthetic fertilizers, okay? I know a lot of people out there, get up in arms about using synthetic fertilizers and how they damage your soil and so on and so forth. But yeah, I use both. So anyway, if you got questions about that, leave it in the comments below. Let's get to it. All right, well, the first thing we're going to talk about is fish fertilizer. I think that's the fertilizer that a lot of people know about. It's a 551 OMRI approved, or OMRI listed, I should say. And it won't burn your plants. It's an easy one to apply. When I first started off gardening, I used fish fertilizer almost exclusively. It's pretty heavy. I have a lot left in there because of these two right here is what I have moved on to. But fish fertilizer, if that's what you would like to use, like I said, it's a 551, so it's higher in nitrogen than phosphorus and potassium. So if you use this one, you're gonna get a lot of green growth. Okay, that's what this one right here is gonna provide to you. I moved on to these two from the fish fertilizer simply because they're more balanced. This is a 332 and this is a 335. So the general purpose, I use it on everything. So pretty much, it says it right there, everything that grows. So that's what this right here is used for. And I alternate it. So I like to use this one up front when when I first start. Well, not when I first start. I'll go over what I use when I first start my seedlings. But the first couple of fertilizing applications, I use this one. This one right here is later on fruit and flower. So anything that fruits, flowers, or berries, I use this one right here on. So let's say like on this picture here, broccoli, I would never use this one on the broccoli. Not that I couldn't, but I just don't. But on your tomatoes, on your berry bushes, on your peppers, anything that forms a flower, I would use this right here on. I would still start with this one. This would be my first application, maybe even my second application. But once I see flowers start to form, I switch up to this one right here. It just helps with the flower development and the overall health of the plant. Right here. Something that a lot of people don't talk about is a micro boost, and this micro boost happens to be from Haas, but you can use any type of micro boost that you can find. But you got to get all of these micronutrients into your plant somehow. So like this one has magnesium, sulfur, boron, copper, iron, manganese, and I can never read that one right there. Yeah, if it shows up, and then zinc at the bottom. All of those. So when I apply this right here, it's basically, can y'all see that? Yeah. It's basically because I see a deficiency in my plants. So discolored leaves, stunted growth, just not vigorous like I want it to be. I apply some of this. And if y'all want, I can go in depth on how I mix my fertilizers and ratios and whatnot, but this video really isn't for that. This video is just to show you the different types of fertilizers and kind of the applications that I use them in. All right. This right here, 0022. I love this. I only use this on rooting veg. So like carrots, potatoes, um, beets, turnips, anything like that, I'll use this right here on it. It doesn't take a lot. I've had this box. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of worn. I've had this box going on. This will be the second year or maybe even the third year that I've had this box right here. So um, on the side there talks about how to plant and whatnot with it. I don't really put it in the ground when I plant or transplant seedlings. What I do with this is I side dress with it. Okay, so like on my potatoes, when I go to hill them, I put down some of this right here. It doesn't take a lot, but it really, really, really helps with the yield. And this is also Armory listed, so it is certified organic. By the way, I didn't mention, but these two are also organic. Your micro boost probably won't be organic, and I think that's because um, of the mining and whatnot that goes along with a lot of this the ingredients in this. So it I believe everything in here is all natural, but like I said, it's not Omri listed. I'm not too worried about that though. All right, so let's get into some of the fertilizers that are not Omri listed. And up first is the ammonium sulfate. Okay, now this is not Omri listed, so it is a synthetic. I'm not. I don't worry too much about that. And I mean, I'm not a certified organic homestead or anything like that. I do grow as organic as I possibly can, but let's take a quick break here and tell you exactly why I use a synthetic or why I would use a synthetic over a certified organic. And that is because in the winter, your organics are going to take a lot longer to break down and be available to the plant. So let's take this for instance. So these right here, they're organic, and when you put those into your soil microbiome has to break that down to make it plant available. Okay, so what I like to tell people, especially new gardeners, is that when you fertilize, you're not fertilizing the plant, you're fertilizing the microbiome, and the microbiome is breaking down that fertilizer and turning it into something that's available to the plants. Um, your plant roots send out signals, and so those signals tell the microbiome what that plant needs. And so, I mean, I could get all into the weeds on that, but just to keep it simple, when you fertilize, you're not feeding the plant, you're feeding the soil. Then the soil in turn feeds the plant. Okay. And so this stuff has to be broken down. This right here is readily available to be uptaken by the plant. Okay. So in the winter time, when your microbiome is not um, very active, your organic stuff is going to take way longer to break down and may even slow to a halt, versus your synthetics will be readily available for the plant right then, so your plant can uptake it right then. Now, having said that, I mostly only use something like this on what's on the package here: onions, shallots, garlic, leeks, that kind of thing. All right. Um, I don't just throw this stuff around, and you have to be careful with this because it will burn your your plants. Unlike those organics back there, you really don't have that issue. Um, so like this winter, I used this on my onions, and I I haven't even used it on my garlic, which I probably will here soon. Do an application on my garlic, and that'll be it. So this bag right here, I mean, this is a 10-pound bag. This will last me probably a couple of years, um, because I only grow so many onions and so many garlic, and so if I did have something that I saw that needed a high nitrogen, amount that was really hurting, then yeah, I would still put some down on that. But for the most part, this right here goes a long, long way. You don't have to apply a lot. All right, so this is the next one. I put it in a bucket, okay? But I'll take this out of here. Chilean nitrate, okay? This is another, this is OMRI listed, so it is a certified organic, but this will burn your plants, okay? So this is one of the organic fertilizers that will burn your plants, but it is organic. Now, I only use this on corn. That's the only thing I use this on. So this right here helps tremendously. Corn is a heavy feeder. It needs a lot of nutrition. And I noticed from year 2 of me planting corn to year 3 of me planting corn, I added this and it was a game changer. So if you're planting corn, try to get some Chilean nitrate. I think it's a little bit on the expensive side. I can't remember, but it is so worth it. And you don't, I mean, I grew maybe 180 corn stalks last year, and I mean, I still got quite a bit down in there. So I won't even have to buy any more this year. And that's what it looks like if you're wondering, little prills. But yeah, I won't have to buy any more of that this year, and it's definitely a game changer. Next thing up is thing everybody knows is 10-10-10. Okay, 10-10-10 is an application that can be used on a multitude of plants. I too refrain from using this most of the time. I'll use it in the winter, but for the most part, I use it in conjunction with my ammonium sulfate. So what I'll do is I'll fertilize my onions, let's say, every 2 weeks. First, I'll fertilize it with ammonium sulfate. Then in 2 weeks, I'll fertilize it with the 10-10-10. Then in 2 weeks, I'll go back, and in 2 weeks, I just keep flip flopping on that. Um, I have not used any 10-10-10 on anything else in the garden, but I probably will use it on stuff like my strawberries, especially if they're like they were hit back hard on the winter. So I'll use some 10-10-10 to bring it back up, and then by the time it gets back up and flush, I'll be back to using organics because the soil will have warmed up enough that I can do that. So I don't think there's much to say about 10-10-10. Everybody kind of knows that's the main fertilizer that I think a lot of people use in their gardens. It's a great application. It is not organic, so it will burn your plants. So just be careful if you did decide to use that because it could kill your plants. All right, and then, well, let's go over here first. Let me show you my bulk stuff. So over here, I have my bulk fertilizers. This is blood meal, and this is bone meal. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I use this religiously as a pre-plant fertilizer. Um, it's great on everything. So I use it when I do amend my soils before planting. If y'all saw the new videos that I did about the uh, the in-ground beds that I made, and when I was filling the those 2 raised beds, I put down blood meal and bone meal in both of those. And I put them down so early because this is organic. It takes forever to break down. So, especially in the winter. So I put it down like months before I'm going to be planting in it. And then at planting, I'll put more down because this is not readily available to the plant. This has to be broken down by the microbiome in order to be uptaken by the plant. But highly effective. Great. If I said, could you only get by with one fertilizer, I would say it'd be the mix of these two right here, blood meal and bone meal. If you could only afford two, That's what I would go with. This stuff over here is more of a specialty to me. I don't use this stuff all the time. I mostly use this stuff when I notice a deficiency. I don't really go on a schedule for most things except for onions. I try to stay on a schedule, but all this stuff back here, like this is on a schedule as far as when I heal my potatoes. This stuff over here is more of a case by case basis. So when I start to notice deficiencies or that things aren't thriving, I throw in some micro boost. I maybe would mix some of this fruit and flour with a micro boost, dilute it, and apply it to my plants. You can apply it as a drench, which means you just pour it over the plants, and it gets down to the roots, and it's kind of a foliar. Y'all know I can't say that word, but a foliar. Uh, thank you, Peanut Gallery. Um, you know what I'm talking about. You can feed it through the plants, through the leaves. Um, but where was I at? I lost track. But yeah, so when I notice a deficiency, I may mix up something over here and put it, on the plants. But matter of fact, there's my blood meal and bone meal mixed up. So I always keep a little bucket of this mixed up so I can put it out on the plants. I'll use that. Like I said, pre-plant. I can also use it as a side dress to the plants. Uh, it's my go-to above anything right there. And I don't really call this a fertilizer, but let's say a soil amendment. I use this for my berries. So if they like acidic soil, I put down this soil acidifier. Once again, I don't use a lot. I mean, that bag is still, it's right there. And, I've used it on everything I have on my homestead over the past year, and I still got that much left. So I don't use a lot. I think everything as far as fertilization should be done in moderation. I don't think that I don't believe in pouring a lot of fertilizer to the plants. I let the plants speak to me and tell me what they need. And there's one more fertilizer that I'd like to talk about. It is the Haas Complete Organic. I do not have any on hand, so I can't show you, but the bag looks a lot like this bag right here. I will pop it up on the screen. It is a great pre-plant fertilizer as well. I don't typically use it as a side dress or anything after planting. So let's say that I use my blood meal and bone meal to amend the soil, the whole bed or whatever. Um, when I go to transplant, I may put some complete organic down in the hole that I'm planting in. So um, it's great for that. It provides long lasting nutrients to your plants. It does provide some calcium. However, I do recommend that if you're on your peppers or anything that can get blossom end rot, I would add something with additional calcium to it. All right, well, there you have it. That's the fertilizers that I use. I don't use anything else. I will link to everything in the description. I'm not affiliated with any of them except for Haas. The only kind of affiliation that I have with anything else is that I do have an Amazon affiliate account, and the 0022 that I use on my potatoes, I get it off of Amazon. So yeah, if you need any help or have questions about any of the fertilizers I went over today, please comment below. I'd love to get that discussion started. I've learned a lot about fertilizers over the years, and so this is where I'm at right now with fertilizers. A lot of these are interchangeable between different brands and whatnot. So if you had a different brand in mind or you're using a different brand, let me know in the comments, or if you want to have a conversation about that and see if what you're using is right for your application. By all means, go ahead and put that down in the comments. Don't forget to check out my affiliates. I have a new affiliate with Grub Terra. Great treats for my chickens. I'll be doing a video on that. Well, I'll be including them in a video here soon. But the link is below. You get 10% off of your order if you use my discount code Salty Dawg. And just check out all the affiliates in general. They're all geared around homesteading. Um, if you make a purchase, please make the purchase through the link that I supply. That way I get a small commission and it helps the channel a lot. There are some things that I definitely need to get for the channel specific, not for the homestead, but you know, I need to work on some things for the channel and be able to dive more into putting out great content. And so any purchase you make through those links helps me out a little bit, probably, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15% of the order before tax is what I receive. So it's not a lot, but every little bit helps. And I really appreciate those of you who do check out the affiliate links. All right, well, that's it for now. No singing in this video. I promise I won't sing to you guys. You know, it may have hurt some ears on the last video, but hey, I like having fun. I like learning and I like having fun. So I try to incorporate those things into my videos, and I hope that everybody appreciates that and enjoys it as well. So anyway, this is a great video, I believe, on fertilizers. Hopefully I answer some questions. If not, like I said, comment below and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Please, if you do have a question, comment below rather than email me. And I only say that because I'm going to give you the same information either way, but it helps the channel, it helps the video if you comment below. So anyway, thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, in no way, shape, or form do you need to use any of the fertilizers in this video. You could use just some good compost. You know, your soil will need nutrition in some way, and how you provide that nutrition is up to you. This is how I provide the nutrition to my gardens. Yeah, I do use compost as well, but I like to fine-tune things, and that's me. You don't have to be that way. Will you grow vegetables without using anything that I'm showing you today? Absolutely. I've been doing it. Excuse me. I've been doing it for a while. What the? Uh-oh, we got bumblebees. Carpenter bees, as you would say. I've been gardening for a while, and I like to do things the way that I've learned to do them over the years, and I keep learning and I keep adding things as I go, and so I kind of just have my way of doing things. And so there's so many other ways of doing it. There's so many other ways of fertilizing your gardens, whether it's comfrey tea or manure teas and whatnot. I do some manure. I have in the past done some manure teas. I've kind of gone away from that, but yeah, there's so many different ways. I'm only covering a small amount of it, okay? So don't think that this is the end all be all. This is just, I can say it 1,000 times, this is my way. So please be gentle in the comments if you think that you do it a different way, but definitely comment and let me know what works for you, because that is how we all learn and how we all grow.